Hello and welcome to Bryan Living and Learning. I'm Alan Bruggman with the City of Bryan's Communications Department.
And I'm Sandy Farris, the Communications Director for Bryan ISD. A few stories we'll show you today include the groundbreaking for our new Kemp campus and a recent Iron Chef competition at Bryan High School.
And we'll show you a brand new hike and bike trail called Park Hudson Trail. And we'll also talk about a cool award that we here at the Communications Department recently won. But first, we sat down with brand new City of Bryan Council member Art Hughes. The recent elections for the City of Bryan City Council lacked drama because there were two uncontested races and only one new council member stepping in. Incumbent Mike Sutherland retained his at-large post and was sworn in at the May 12th council meeting. Newcomer Art Hughes was also sworn in at the single-member District 5 spot. Ben Hardiman had reached his term limit in District 5 and was honored for his service at that same meeting. Since he is the only new face on the Bryan City Council, we decided to sit down with new council member Art Hughes and find out why he ran and what he loves about Bryan.
I moved here when I was 8 years old. I won't say how many years ago that was, but so I went through the Bryan school system, graduated, went to A&M. I graduated from A&M in '68, and my wife is from Bryan. She was actually born in Bryan, so she's a native. But we moved away when I graduated in '68 and lived all up and down the East Coast. And moved back here in '95, and we feel like we're home. In fact, she told me that her and her stuff aren't moving again. So.
Because of those close family ties to Bryan, running for the city council was an easy decision.
I really wanted to be involved. My wife and I both, we knew what Bryan used to be. We knew what it was when we came back, and we could see some real things that would be helpful for Bryan. So I got involved probably the second year I was back.
And this isn't Hughes' first foray into Bryan government, as he served for a combined 10 years in two different spots.
First, I was appointed to the Zoning Board of Adjustments, and I spent 3 years on that board, and then appointed to the Planning Zoning Commission, and spent 6-7 years on P&Z.
Once Hughes threw his hat in the ring and realized he would be running unopposed, he knew he could hit the ground running when it came to meeting and speaking with Bryan residents.
It's a lot nicer to run unopposed. Saves a lot of money, number one, but also it gave me time to meet more people in the area. You're not really campaigning for their vote, but you're wanting to meet them, wanting to get to know them, encourage them to get more involved in local government. So instead of saying, I would like your vote, say, I would like you to vote, because a vote not cast is a vote not counted.
Hughes says there's a lot to be excited about now in Bryan, including downtown.
Since 1995, I've seen a lot of very positive things happen. I guess one of my favorite things I like to talk about is the downtown improvements. We've seen Bryan go from a vibrant downtown in the 60s to almost non-existent. But now we've seen it's coming back. You can go down there many evenings during the week and you can't find a parking space. So I'm excited about that.
Hughes says he can't wait to be involved with the upcoming Downtown North plans and has already started brainstorming ideas for the municipal golf course. The Bryan City Council meets the second and fourth Tuesdays of every month at the Municipal Office Building in Bryan.
Alan, City Council members serve a 3-year term, is that right?
That is correct. Mr. Hughes will be serving single-member District 5 for at least the next 3 years.
In a previous story, we told you about some upcoming construction projects for the district. Recently, we broke ground on the new Kemp campus. Go.
Teachers and administrators gathered in front of Kemp Elementary recently for a very special photo opportunity. Shovels in hand, they broke ground, announcing the beginning of construction on the new Kemp campus.
We turn dirt today, but we're not too far behind with equipment on the ground, really moving some big dirt. And we hope to be in this facility by August of 2010. So it's going to be a quick process from henceforth. The first step, of course, we're going to build a road. We have land that goes all the way back to Saunders Street, and the road will be built back there, and then Kemp will be built. The first stage of all of Kemp will be built before we do anything with Carver. And one of the things that's significant about this one is that if you see the Kemp Elementary School wall over there, that wall will be preserved where it stands, and it will become a monument to this campus, and it will be preserved in that format. The gym is historical. Lots of basketball has been played in that gym, lots of programs, lots of all sorts of conventions, that sort of thing. Yeah, we're keeping the gym. And it will be the air conditioning relit, but the floor is going to be the same floor and it'll be refinished. So it's going to be a really nice facility.
This project was approved by voters as a part of the 2005 bond package.
It's been on the need list for several years, but the voters came together and voted the money to do it, and it's time to make this one right.
Well, Sandy, I think it's pretty neat that they decided to keep those historic elements during the renovation.
It is, and everyone at the school, students and staff alike, are really excited about that new building.
This past week has been Public Works Appreciation Week. The week got kick-started with a Public Works Appreciation event at the Bryan Target parking lot. Heavy machinery, hot dogs, info booths, and giveaways. It was all part of the Bryan Public Works Appreciation event at the Bryan Target parking lot. This year was the first year that Bryan had an appreciation event that coincided with the National Public Works Week.
We are so proud of our Public Works Department and all the things that they do, and one of the strategic initiatives of the American Public Works Association is to start educating the public on all the things that Public Works does.
They educated with info booths from every department within Public Works. That's a long list of departments and a longer list of tasks that they take on every day.
People don't realize that, that we fix the streets, we fix the drainage ways, we make sure that you have good water to drink, we make sure that when you use the water it goes someplace and gets environmentally cleansed. Then we also take care of all the buildings. We take care of all the buildings, we take care of all the assets of the city with regards also to fleet. We also have a big green initiatives program, a sustainabilities program, and with the composting and recycling. We also pick up all the trash and the brush and bulky. Our solid waste department is one of the most excellently run departments I've ever seen. Not very many places that you actually just put all your bulky materials and your limbs, and once a week they miraculously remove them. So we're very proud of our employees. They do an excellent job for the city, and we just want to get them recognition throughout the whole community. So this is a way to do that, and a way also to tell everybody what we do.
In addition to the education effort, citizens were lured out to the event by the free hot dogs and giveaways to the youngsters that came out.
Squishy things and ruler, a pen, a pencil, two frisbees.
The education effort about Public Works is a year-long endeavor, and several weeks ago a group of Johnson Elementary students helped with the appreciation event by designing posters after witnessing a machine demonstration.
We went to Johnson Elementary School and had the second graders. We did a big equipment demonstration for the second graders, and they drew pictures, and we ended up selecting 10 of those pictures to put on our posters that advertise the event.
And the appreciation didn't end with that one event. Later in the week, all Public Works employees were treated to a free lunch of grilled hamburgers at the Municipal Service Center.
Alan, that looked like a lot of fun. Nothing beats having your boss serve lunch to you.
Yeah, I think both the bosses and the workers had a good time, and I know they're already planning on participating in the Public Works Appreciation Week next year.
Branch Elementary recently raised some money for Children's Miracle Network, and some principals got a little wet in the process.
All right, this is a project of the Branch Student Council, and they were raising money for Children's Miracle Network. We just ended up raising the most money, which was $894 and some odd cents. They were giving money from their allowances. They brought in money from their ice cream money, and they were just having a good time with the whole thing. So our principals agreed that the classes that raised the most money got to throw water balloons at them. Ms. Ogden and Ms. Miller, our assistant principal. So they were great sports, and we were really glad they came out and did it, and it sounded like everybody had a really good time. Candy 95 agreed to come to the winning school, the school that raised the most money, and that was one of the big things that motivated our kids, is they really wanted Candy 95 to come here and broadcast. So they came in this morning. They were broadcasting. They did Sing Along Disney, and they were just having them sing and dance and yell and just having a really good time dancing. I've already heard back from them. They said it was one of the most fun times they've had in a long time, so I know all of our kids had a good time too.
Well, Sandy, it's great to see those principals being good sports for a good cause.
It is, and our principals are always willing to do something like that, fun, to motivate students to reach a goal.
If you're looking for a place to exercise and you don't want to be inside on a treadmill and you don't want to be outside on the street, you're in luck. The City of Bryan recently opened an outdoor hike and bike trail. One of the City of Bryan's latest construction projects looks absolutely nothing like a typical construction project. In fact, this project is completely surrounded by nature. It's the new Park Hudson Hike Bike Trail in East Bryan, and the new trail happened because residents asked and city leaders listened.
We're finding that our citizens are wanting basically walking trails, bike trails throughout the city, and that's in many communities. We have some really great areas of the community that are prime for this.
The trail is just the latest development in the Park Hudson area. Gateways to the trail are on Highway 158, on Pendleton, and on Copperfield Drive.
This whole project really basically started from a tax increment financing district, TIF district, on the east side known as Park Hudson. It was about a 350-acre site, and it's been a very successful TIF. It is our most successful one financially of the 5 that we have in place for the city.
Even though the trail isn't 100% finished, people have already been using it. In fact, parks officials say people were walking on the 1.3-mile trail before the concrete was even installed. And now visitors can take advantage of all the amenities.
Along the trail, people will find park benches. It is lit at night. Trash receptacles. Entrance to these trails are bike racks, watering stations, both for humans and for dogs. We do have call stations along the route, so if somebody does have a problem, health problem, or they sprain an ankle, they can call for help. In all, the Park Hudson Trail project has a $1.5 million price tag. That covered everything from the design and bidding right through construction of the 2 parking lots, both the 10-foot trail and 5- and 6-foot sidewalks that were on either end or over at the school, plus all the amenities along the way that we mentioned with the lights and benches, trash receptacles, call stations, and everything.
And who's welcome at the city's Park Hudson Trail? Well, anyone, as long as you're not on a motor-powered vehicle.
It is a non-motorized trail, and so when you come in on this trail, you'll find a lot of people walking or jogging. You'll also find baby strollers, skateboards, bicycles. Anything that's non-motorized is allowed, and with the width of 10 foot, it works very well.
Alan, the Park Hudson Trail looks like a good addition to some outdoor recreation for our community.
Yeah, our city leaders are really excited to get that trail open, and there have already been some discussions about extending the trail.
Among the many classes offered at Bryan High School, horticulture is an area that not only teaches about plant production, but actually gives students some marketable skills they can use later on.
Well, the intro to horticulture, we do a little bit of landscaping, floral design. We talk about greenhouses and things like that. And then when they go on to horticulture, then
Then we talk about propagation and different kinds of greenhouses and about the business, horticulture business. And then they get to come in here and work, and we propagate plants from leaves, from seeds. We take plugs and we also grow things from plugs. And then we also went through and I taught the kids how to make a watering system. And so we took the old watering system out, we designed a watering system, and so they learned some plumbing skills. So that was a lot of fun. And we'll get to have a sale, and we'll sell, and so they'll learn customer service skills as well in here, which is really important, whatever business you go into. We had the greenhouse redone. There were several things. We had to replace all the plexiglass on the outside. We got a new tub and a new pump. I think the pumps don't last that long with the water here and things like that. So we were lucky enough to have funds to do that. And so what we're going to do is take all the funds from here and we'll put it in a separate account, and that will be used next year. Like if we have anything that breaks down, or we need to replace any of the cool cell pads, or we need any fertilizers, seeds, pots, soil, anything like that. And that way the greenhouse is self-sufficient, and we're not having to use funds for curriculum and stuff like that. We can use it for other classes. So that kind of makes this program kind of nice. It's a lot of fun. I mean, to start out, we had nothing in here. And they're just in a few weeks, and you can actually see the efforts of your work. And so that's kind of nice too. The kids can come in and see after several weeks of planting and growing and pruning and fertilizing. It looks really neat when you come into a full greenhouse like that. We learn it in the classroom, and then we come out here and we can actually apply the skills. That makes it a lot more fun to actually get to do what you're talking about. And we do a lot of the things that they learn in their other classes, whether it's science or whether it's math. They apply a lot of those skills, like in landscaping and in here in the horticulture. They apply a lot of the skills that they learn in the other classes here when they do a hands-on project. We've also been asked to do some wedding receptions and things like that. So people come to us from the outside, so the kids actually get to do hands-on, like for real-world situations. This week we're doing the Bryan Junior League. They're having a banquet where they give scholarships and things like that. And so they're actually getting to do that. So they think that's really cool they get to see their design in real life.
Well, Sandy, I didn't realize that Bryan High offered a horticulture class.
We've had that for a number of years, and if you're driving around Bryan and on Barrack Lane, you'll see that greenhouse beside the campus.
Every year, Keep Brazos Beautiful hands out awards at their annual awards celebration. This year, Channel 16 was a proud recipient of an award for our green programming.
Keep Brazos Beautiful is an organization whose stated mission is to educate and engage Brazos County citizens to keep our community clean, green, and beautiful. Recently, KBB held an awards gala at the College Station Hilton.
The reason we are gathered here this evening is to award some very exceptional community members for their extraordinary environmental efforts.
Among those exceptional people were 3 different departments from the city of Bryan that took home awards. The Communications Department's Channel 16 was honored with the Media Fanfare Award. That recognition goes to the local station whose efforts have significantly aided local environmental issues. Channel 16 is the home to Buzz's Big Tour and Be Green and Bryan TV. The channel's regular TV show, Bryan Living and Learning, also features environmental programming. The Bryan Police Department's NET team also was honored with the Community Stewardship Award. NET officers participated in the Texas Trash Off cleanup effort, as well as other community efforts during the year. Bryan Code Enforcement also went home with an award from the gala, being honored as the Keepers of the Kingdom, an award that goes to an organization that helps our community to be clean, green, and beautiful.
Well, congratulations, Alan, on the award, and I actually saw that award on your video blog recently.
Yeah, we did a little piece on cityofbryanblog.com about the award and about the guy who's mainly responsible for the award. So if you want to check that out, log on to cityofbryanblog.com.
For the 10th year in a row, Sam Houston 4th graders presented their living statues.
We have 100 students, about 100 students at Sam Houston that have researched their Texas hero, their favorite Texas hero, and we've done our living statues. Everybody has researched one particular Texas hero, and they've dressed in character, and they're presenting for all of our students and parents and faculty today at Sam Houston. As you're walking around, you might see Sam Houston, Jane Long, you might see Cynthia M. Parker, Quanah Parker, James Bonham, lots of Texas heroes here today. The procedure is the children spend about maybe a week, week and a half researching and learning their parts. Then when they're ready to present, the parents or the students come and step on a little button that says press here. The living statues come to life. They recite their speech and then they freeze again and they're ready for the next one to come by. The fourth graders decided, they picked their top 3 characters, and then the teachers worked really hard to make sure that we had lots of different representation, that we didn't have all Sam Houstons or all Cynthia Ann Parkers. So either they got their top choice, their second, or their third, but most of them ended up with the one that they wanted.
Hello, my name is James Bowie. I was born April 6, 1796 in Kentucky. I moved to Texas in 1828. I am known for my long-bladed knife with a Bowie knife. We found out the Senate.
My name is Jane Long, mother of Texas. I was born July 23rd, 1798. I married my first and only love, Dr. James Long.
When the children are doing their research, they do have some idea of what the costume is going to look like. Also, they look through their textbook, and we try to tell them not to spend a lot of money on it. There are some things that you can get that are already in your closet that you can use. We do have a few costumes that we can give them, like we have some hats and some scarves and bandanas and little collars for the girls to wear around their neck. But most of the things are done very inexpensively at home, and their parents are pretty ingenious, and the kids do a great job on their costumes. There is a tremendous turnout always. The parents, grandparents are here, the cameras are flashing, the kids just really enjoy performing for them. The students also, the K through 3 students in particular, look and pick a Texas hero that they want to be, so that when they get to 4th grade that they're ready for their Texas hero.
Well, Sandy, that looks like a fun way for those kids to learn about Texas history.
It is, and it's something that the students look forward to every year.
For the first year ever, the City of Bryan Parks and Recreation Department invited the Hershey Games to Merrill Green Stadium.
Dozens of child competitors sprinted, threw, and jumped in front of fans at the very first Hershey Track and Field Games in Bryan. The competition was held at Bryan High School's Viking track and put together by Bryan Parks and Recreation. Kids competed in 3 different age groups: 9 to 10-year-olds, 11 to 12-year-olds, and 13 to 14-year-olds. Those competitors ran everything from the shorter distance sprints like the 50, 100, 200, and 400 meter dashes to middle distance races like the 800 and the mile. The kids also had the option to throw in the softball throw and jump in the standing broad jump competition. For a first-year event, the Hershey's Games was a great success.
Okay, you're up. Good job, good job.
For the latest information on summer activities for your kids, check out BryanParksandRecreation.com.
Well, Alan, you said this was the first year for the games. Will they be coming back?
Yeah, our Parks and Rec officials were really excited about the turnout, and they said they plan on doing the Hershey Games in the coming years.
Bryan High School was recently the place to be for the first ever Viking Iron Chef competition.
This is the first year that we've done the Viking Iron Chef competition here at the high school. We received a grant through the BISD Education Foundation, mainly because the kids always want to cook expensive cuts of meat, and we just don't have the money in our budget to do that. And that $1,500 grant allowed us to be able to choose a variety of dishes for the students to cook with. The stipulations for cooking was they had to have a main dish and a side dish that went with the main dish. They could choose whatever they wanted as long as it was made from scratch, and no frying. We did not allow anybody to fry anything. And so they had pretty much free reign as to what they chose to get, and they picked more complex things than what I would have thought some of them would have picked. There were 2 to 3 judges per class. The judges judged on a variety of things: appearance, taste, compatibility, difficulty, level of difficulty. Was it difficult to make? Was it easy to make? And they have to have plenty of time to plate for the judges. Biggest part of their grade was appearance. That was a criteria that the judges graded upon. And they only have, well, less than 90 minutes, because they had to plate for the judges, let them eat, and then they ate themselves, and then they had to clean up as well, because that's all part of their grade. and then they ranked them, and the first, second, and third place teams received ribbons, and the first place team also received a t-shirt. And the judges were from just here at the high school and at the administration building and within the community as well. We had some business members come in and judge for us as well. Before the judges came in with their meal for the final, the students had to create a brochure including the meal as well as the nutritional content of that meal. They had to list all the carbs, the proteins, the vitamins, minerals, things like that that was involved in that meal. And a lot of the recipes don't have those on there, so they had to find all that information on their own. They are very excited about it. It's new for them because they've never had, when we eat here in the past or during the school year, they get to just eat it themselves. And then they don't have judges coming in, and I may taste test it, and then they would eat remaining and take home or whatever and share with friends. But this is something new, and they were really competitive about it, and they were really surprising about and excited about doing it, rather than, oh, this is just another cooking lab that we're doing. They seemed really, really excited about it.
Well, Sandy, that looked like a lot of fun. Maybe next year I can be a judge?
No, we can arrange that.
We showed you the Tip a Cop event on a previous episode where the Bryan police officers worked as waiters at the Texas Roadhouse, earning tips for a special cause. Recently, they donated all that money to the Texas Special Olympics.
Law enforcement officials from across southeast Texas joined Bryan police officers at Texas Roadhouse restaurant to run a 1.6-mile leg in the Texas Special Olympics torch run. Before the run got underway, Bryan PD's Jason James presented the Special Olympics organization with a $9,350 check that they raised during the Tip a Cop event in March.
Brazos Valley is just totally awesome. They've been #1 in the state of Texas for a long time, raising funds for Special Olympic athletes, and it really does make you feel good because everybody comes together and helps our athletes in the area.
And the relationship between the Special Olympics and Bryan PD goes both ways.
The Bryan Police Department loves the Special Olympic athletes. They're so much fun. They enjoy seeing the police officers. When we go and work their events, we get along. They always want to shake our hands or give us high fives. So we enjoy helping them out as much as we can.
After leaving Bryan, the torch went to Brenham, and eventually it made it all the way to Arlington for the Special Olympics on May 24th.
Well, Alan, the torch run's been taking place for a number of years. That's a great way to benefit Special Olympics.
Yeah, I know that our Bryan Police Department is very happy with their relationship with the Texas Special Olympics. That's all we have for you on this episode of Bryan Living and Learning. To watch the show again, you can log on to bryantx.gov, youtube.com/City of Bryan.
You can also go to bryanisd.org, or you can use our newest communication tool, twitter.com/bryanisd or twitter.com/City of Bryan.
And now you can watch on the go by subscribing to our podcasts. They're downloadable right to your iPod.
For Bryan ISD, I'm Sandy Farris.
And I'm Alan Bruggman for the City of Bryan. Thanks for watching.